You tune into the Sportscast with Brian, Craig, and Jeff. Give you all the sports news you need. We give you outspoken thoughts about all the headlines. We talk baseball, football, hockey, and more. No matter the topic, we cover it. Get ready for the show and keep it outspoken. Keep it outspoken. We keep it outspoken only on the Sportscast. Tune into the Sportscast with Brian, Craig, and Jeff. Give you all the sports news you need.
Hello to all you cool cats and kittens out there. Welcome in to Watson's Playbook. All right, everybody, welcome in to Watson's Playbook. Sorry, I was having a little technical difficulties here with my mic. There was this weird screeching sound going on when I was talking, and I was trying to get that figured out. But I am here, and I have figured out a different way around it. I'll have to fix that going down the road. But welcome in. It's been a boring couple weeks. You know, everyone's quarantined at home. I'm sure you are as well. Things continue to get worse and worse with the coronavirus going on, and we're still waiting for some good news when it comes to that, a cure for it, where we can see the numbers start falling after we hit the peak. And so we've been trying to figure out things we can do during this time as a family and just entertaining yourself as well. And if you listen to my intro there, all you cool cats and kittens, I'm pretty sure you've now either heard of or have watched Tiger King, and what a crazy ride that is. We'll get into that in a little bit here. Just going into the sports here, the sports, there really hasn't been much, right? They're going to do the NFL draft virtually, which is the first of its kind. It's going to be interesting to see how they're going to display that on TV. Is it going to be a bunch of Zoom calls? What's going on in that direction? It'll be the first of its kind, so we really don't know what's going on and how it's going to work out. We also don't know if they're going to be doing Zoom, which I've heard they are. If Zoom's been getting hacked, so could we potentially see another Patriots cheating scandal of them hacking Zoom calls to figure out who's going to draft who? Or if anybody's going to look into doing something like that. So be interesting entertainment. I don't know what it's going to look like. I'm sure we'll get some more clarity coming up in a couple of weeks when the draft gets closer here. And I over the years, I've tried to pay attention to more college football because these guys are coming to the draft. I've been getting more interested into the draft so I know who guys are coming out at least the first couple rounds, and then going from there. Green Bay needs some offense. We need another wide receiver. A lot of mock drafts have us going after Denzel Mims out of the Baylor, who is a really good wide receiver. I would love to have Jerry Jeudy and CeeDee Lamb, but I'm not delusional. Those guys won't be there when we pick. I think Denzel Mims is a good pick. Now, do you pick a wide receiver number one spot, not the number one spot, but in your first round draft? I don't know, because the fact of the matter is, if they're not guaranteed to be like a CeeDee Lamb, like a game changer, this class is filled with wide receivers. You could probably get some later on in a different kind of rounds, but Green Bay has not drafted a playmaking wide receiver in a long, long time. We other than Devontae Adams, we got him. But other than that, we haven't got a wide receiver in the first 3 rounds. It's about time we give Aaron Rodgers some weapons to play with. So interested to see how the draft's going to work out, though, and who all we're coming to. But I don't know about you guys. I don't pay a lot of attention to mock drafts. Especially, you see a bunch of people posting their mock drafts on Facebook pages and stuff. And I'm like, I don't, you're not no expert. Why do I care about your mock draft? And even the experts mock drafts, until it gets right down to almost to the week before, I kind of glance at a couple, and that's about it. But it's a mock draft for a reason, and so you have no clue what's going to happen. I'm sure Joe Burrow is going to go number 1. Does he go to Cincinnati? Does someone trade up for him? I don't think Cincinnati's going to go away from Joe Burrow unless Joe Burrow tells them he does not want to play for them, which I don't blame him. But the draft is just so interesting. We'll get into the draft more when it partakes and who takes who, and good moves and bad moves, and who all that jazz going down the road. We still don't know if football is going to proceed. Donald Trump got on the phone call the other day with all the major sports leaders and basically told that the NFL should start on time with fans in the stands, and I don't think that's accurate. We can all hope and dream that this won't affect football, but they're just hopes and dreams. We don't know the magnitude of this yet, so we can't be rushing right back into stadiums with crowded people until we get a further handle on this. That being said, they're out there talking about college football, and Kirk Herbstreit came out and said, I don't know if we'll have a college football season this year, and I think that's a pretty accurate it's pretty accurate to assume that right now. But they decided to interview Dabo Swinney. He's a Clemson coach, and he's a good coach by all means. But he's out, and I couldn't do anything but laugh at this quote. But he's out on the beach of Florida, took a private jet, and him and his family down there vacationing during this whole mess, which is exactly what you're not supposed to be doing. But they come out and they asked him about it. He says, and I quote, I have zero doubt. This is America, man. We've stormed the beaches of Normandy. We've sent a car and drove around Mars. We walked on the moon. This is the greatest country and greatest people in the history of the planet. End quote. And I'm reading this. I'm talking to the wife last night, and I'm busting out laughing. This is America, man. What does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with yes, this is America. You're right. You are in America. This has nothing to do with the virus. Just because we've sent people to the moon and we've stormed the beaches of Normandy in war has nothing to do with the virus, has nothing to do with football, has nothing to do with any of that stuff. He goes on, talks about it, about creating an iPhone, and just he left me speechless. I had no clue where he was going with the speech. I guess you can give the guy a round of applause for his optimism, and maybe just I have no clue. But I read that, I was laughing so hard last night at the dinner table after we ate dinner, actually. But anyways, that's beside the point. Just laughing about his. It just seems like he has a lack. And a little delusional on how serious this is. He's off vacationing with his family in the Florida beaches, and we're gonna play, and just no worry in the world. And he's living in a bubble because there's a lot of worry in the world, and sports are being canceled. It just is what it is. Baseball's talked about moving to Arizona and playing all their games in Arizona. I'm guessing Arizona because of the weather. I don't know if they have a lot of baseball fields down there that they can play multiple games and kind of get through somewhat of a shorter season, I'm expecting, but we still have no idea. Basketball is leaning more towards, they were leaning towards Vegas, have taken the teams to Vegas, maybe just playing playoffs and having it all in Vegas and having a controlled environment. But when Japan decided to bring back their basketball team and their sport, a couple weeks ago. They had to shut it down over one weekend because of the fact that everyone was getting sick. And so basketball is leaning actually towards canceling the NBA season. Something I've never seen before. We've seen a shorter season a while back, but we've not seen a cancellation. What are they going to do with everything? There's a lot of questions going into sports about this. And now, don't get me wrong. I know it might be bad taste to talk about sports in this time, but this is a sports podcast, and a lot of people are looking forward to sports coming back, including myself. But so I know it's bigger than sports, but this is affecting sports as well. I've been going back and trying to watch old games. They had the Lakers versus Boston back in, I think it was 2006 or 7. That game was on. Kobe Bryant was playing. I watched a little bit of that the other night. Then they were been playing football games. They played the Packers versus Saints. I couldn't find that on TV, but then I found out it was on NBC, I think. So I don't know where they were brought. I don't know if it was on NBC the other night. I think it was. I'm not sure. I couldn't find it, and it really made me mad because I really wanted to watch it. But some interesting. They're bringing up some interesting games from that played back in the day, and then baseball's been doing that all week, playing old school baseball where you see back in the day. So it's kind of interesting to try and fill your sports fix that way if you can't do anything else. Another thing that they have done, I think it's pretty cool. They've actually got a couple basketball players to do a tournament of NBA 2K basketball, and you could actually watch them, I believe, on Twitch, maybe on NBA.com. You could actually watch them play a tournament against each other. So that's kind of neat. And I've seen people go on NBA 2K and just watch computer versus computer to get some type of sports action. And NASCAR has actually gone. The last 2 races have been virtual, where you have a home set up in their houses. Some have just a computer and a little bit of maybe a mouse, and some of the racers have a full on, looks like a complete cockpit, and with big TVs and stuff setting it up. And one of the drivers, actually the second race, he got so mad he raged. They call it rage quitting in gaming. He rage quit in the middle of a race, and which was not cool because the sponsors, I forget who his sponsor was, but they were pulling one of his sponsors because the fact that he quit in the middle of a race, that they're actually counting. So, I get why it's frustrating because you're not there actually controlling the car. It'd be a little harder to control, I believe. So I can understand it. I can understand getting angry about that. But we have been just trying to go with the flow Monday through Friday. The wife is homeschooling the kids. I'm sure you're in the same exact position. Someone's got to homeschool those kids, so she's got the 2 older kids homeschooling them. Today she went for a drive. She took the girls, got in the car, they drove, got lunch. They brought me lunch, which was great to see them during that time and have lunch with them during work, because I'm still able to go to work and just doing the best we can what we got. And I think that's just all that we can all do. So if you keep your head up high and keep your spirits up and continue to just keep on going on. And I know these are some cliche things, but that's just what you got to do, one day at a time. Do the best of what you got and the best of what you can. And one thing that is really awesome, this last weekend was General Conference in my religion, and I am a LDS member, Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and we believe that we have a prophet on this earth still. And every twice a year, the prophet and the quorum of the 12 and they come together and they talk to us, and through speaking these messages that we're supposed to listen to and start acting upon and living those in our life, and which is a great spiritual moment for us. It's something that they do over BYU TV, and it's very awesome. And it's hard to listen to sometimes because of the children. You know, you got kids at home. You're doing this, you're doing that. You're trying to get them to be still and quiet, and you're trying to listen to it. But they also put them out on the app, so anything that you miss, you can go back and watch and listen to as well. So it's a really great time for us. And our prophet has asked the world to have a worldwide fast. He's asked us members to invite everybody to fast this Friday, April 10th. And obviously, you probably already can guess what we're fasting upon. We're fasting to God that this epidemic is being handled. We ask that it is hopefully going to come to an end sooner than later. We ask that the people that are inflicted by this, that they become healed. Just everything, and we can go back to a normal life. And if you've never fasted before, most religions believe in fasting, or most religions do fasting. You basically give up 2 meals. We say 2 meals in a day, or even you can fast for 24 hours where you don't eat or anything. And it's not just not eating. I've had that question asked of what is not eating going to do for it? No, it's not just not eating. If you're just not eating, then you're just not eating. That's it. You're just going to be hungry. Fasting is you're sacrificing something for the Lord and for a purpose, and you're showing that God that you can give up something and sacrifice that to hopefully for a better cause. And you have to fast, and you have to start your fasting off with a prayer, and then you fast and you give up that meal. Some people that are medically they cannot give up any food because health issues. You're asked, you can give up different things. You can give up your iPhone during that time, or social media during that time. Something that distracts you during that time, that you can use that time praying to God. You can use that time of just thinking about the issues, about COVID-19, about what you want to happen, with it being back to normal life, and having this virus being taken care of, and hopefully a cure on the way. And just you have to pray to God, and I hope that all of you have been praying. But what is great about this is someone created a Facebook page. I'm not trying to claim it. Someone created a Facebook page and worldwide fast, and we've been sending it around, and it's awesome to see all the responses that we get. The people that want to come in and help, and the people that are they're saying, I've seen so many say, hey, I'm not LDS, but I believe in fasting and I believe in Christ. Can I join? Yes, you can. I've seen, hey, I'm a Muslim. Am I wanted here? Yes, you are. And hey, I grew up Baptist. I like this cause. Can I jump in on it? Yes, everybody's invited. It's not just for LDS Church. Everybody's invited around the world, and we're hoping to pass this along. So when Friday comes and gets here, we can hopefully all be having the same thoughts. It's praying to God, giving up food for. It's usually 2 meals, so I usually give up breakfast and lunch, and we'll break that fast at dinner. But if you can join, please do. I hope that you guys do. I hope that God will answer our prayers, and God will listen. And so that'd be awesome if you guys can join that. I put it on Facebook multiple times, on my personal page, on Watson's Playbook, and the My Goliath page also has it on there as well. If you have any questions about that, feel free to ask me. You can email me at thewatts@gmail.com. Any questions, like I said, any questions on that, any questions on my faith, any questions about anything, any questions you want to know about me, topics you might want me to talk about, if you care about all that stuff, you can email me there at thewatts@gmail.com. We have been trying to figure out things that we could do for the girls. We go outside. We actually got some patio furniture not too long ago We sit out there with the girls. We play ball. We play frisbee. They're bouncing on the trampoline, and the rain has finally stopped. It rained all last weekend. The rain has finally stopped. It's getting warmer outside, so we're going to be able to get out there and play. And actually, I'm cooking. And this is the best thing ever. A couple years back, a couple years ago, I got a smoker for Father's Day. I said, babe, I'm going to be smoking briskets. It's going to be awesome. Well, I never smoked any briskets because that takes a lot of time, right? It takes a lot of work, some stuff I didn't know. So a year later, for the next Father's Day, I said, hey, babe, let me sell my smoker since I don't use it, and let me get a 36-inch Blackstone grill, and it's basically a hibachi. And she said, you better use it. And I said, I will, I swear. So I sold that. I bought the 36-inch Blackstone griddle, and it's the best thing I've ever purchased. And we cook on it quite a bit. We're cooking burgers, we're cooking bacon and breakfast and burritos. And tonight I'm actually making something that's one of our favorites. It's an Hawaiian chicken. It's just chicken, pineapple, bell peppers, and onions. And I have it marinated in some soy sauce, some brown sugar, some garlic, and some pineapple juice. And I cook all that up, and then I cook some fried rice, and we have that. And it's super, super good, but I love the Blackstone griddle. It is an amazing investment. If you guys ever think about getting one, they're great. And some of them come with air fryers on the side now and all sorts of things. They get pretty fancy with that stuff, but I got it downstairs. I'm going to go cook that tonight. The girl's going to come out back and play with me while I'm doing that. So, but we're going to start taking walks, I think, this week. The weather's going to permit it. I told my wife we got to start being healthier. 2 walks a week. The gym, she used to go to the gym with her friend Amber. The gyms are closed down, so this won't be the same, but it'll be something for us to do as a family, and something that I continue to want to do, even though the quarantine will be over. My kids are starting to ask, Dad, can we go to the park? Dad, can you take us to Chuck E. Cheese? Dad, I want to go here. I hate to tell them, babe, we can't do that yet. But I tell them, I swear, when we can, we will. We go to the parks. We'll go to Chuck E. Cheese. We'll go to all that stuff. So I don't know if your kids are kind of getting stir crazy at home, but mine definitely are. And my wife will probably second that. But one thing that we have been watching, we binge watched it in 2 nights, is Tiger King. And this is a crazy story, and I'm pretty sure if you haven't heard about Tiger King, you've been hiding under the biggest rock in the world right now, because we're all stuck at home. We all have nothing else to do but watch TV, especially when the kids go to bed. So Tiger King came out. It's basically a story about Joe Exotic, and that's his nickname is Joe Exotic, and he runs a tiger zoo. He has a couple other different animals, but his main thing is breeding tigers and selling tigers, which later on down the road became illegal after he started all this. I've had a couple buddies that went up there and actually went up there and got to pet and play with tigers. That's what he would do. He would breed tigers. You could come when they were little, and you could pay to play with a tiger. Take pictures of the tiger. I got a couple buddies that went and did it, and they said it was awesome. So Joe Exotic he is this zoo. He's a crazy character in itself. He's actually gets married to 2 gay guys, or he's gay. He gets married to two gay guys, and I'm saying that in quotation marks, because later down the road you find out they're not really gay, that they were just addicted. They had a meth addiction, and he could get them drugs and money. So I don't even know how. It's seriously, the story's already blowing your mind probably if you haven't heard of the story. I'm pretty sure you have. Later down the line, one of them commits suicide right in the middle of his campaign manager, because he does eventually start running for a mayor, and then he tries to run for president. And then, I'm telling you, I feel like I'm leaving so much stuff out. This story goes crazy. The story gets insane. And you got Carol Baskins, which is a crazy cat lady. She marries this guy. He ends up being abusive to her, I believe. And then she gets a divorce from him, and she marries another guy. And the guy is a millionaire, and he has his own tigers as well, and animals. And she falls in love with the tigers, and her husband is a millionaire, just disappears off the face of the earth. Disappears. They have no clue what happened to her. The rumor is that Carol has killed him and fed him to the tigers, or killed him and buried him under the sewage tanks. But this case was closed because they couldn't find an answer. He just disappeared, and that was it. So she got a bunch of money, and she rescues the tigers. That she's saying that she's rescuing these tigers. She's not breeding them, so she's not causing no problems. But she's getting these big cats and tigers from people who have the tigers and can't keep them and get rid of them. But you look at a lot of her enclosures that she keeps them in. They look worse than Joe Exotic's. She's also having people come out and look at them, and she's making money off of that. So I don't even know if she's better than Joe, but she thinks that she is better than Joe Exotic because she's not breeding and having petting time. So you got her running around. She's trying to sue Joe Exotic and take his zoo from him so she could put him down of the tiger abuse and all that stuff. Joe starts his own TV show, and he gets a guy to come in and run all this stuff, and he's on his TV show overnight talking about how much he hates Carol Baskins, and it becomes a war between the two. He's talking about wanting to kill her. He makes a blow doll of her, shoots the blow doll in the head. All this craziness. All right, and all this craziness is wrapped up in 7 episodes. So then Joe decides one day he wants to run for governor. He doesn't win the governor. He wants to run for the president. Now I'm getting a little ahead of myself. There's another zoo guy over here. Okay, there's another crazy Dr. Antle, and he runs almost it's basically a cult with him and a bunch of women, if you catch my drift. And he does the same thing. He breeds the tigers. They come play with him. But the rumor in this one is he euthanizes the tigers because once they get to a certain age, you can't play with them and pet on them. They just become a expense, and it hasn't been proven. But the rumor is that Dr. Antle just euthanizes and cremates the tigers at a certain point, which is obviously horrible. But that hasn't been proven yet. So, going back to Joe. Joe is getting sued by Carol Baskins, and he's about to run out of money. And he's on his wit's end. And this guy named Jeff comes in. Jeff comes in with money and says, hey, I'll help you out. We'll run the zoo. We'll win your case against Carol Baskins. Yada, yada, yada. And basically, he turns on Joe. He takes the zoo from Joe because Joe's been taking money from the zoo to help run his campaign, which is illegal. And he goes in there and goes off on Joe, and Joe leaves, and the zoo's now Jeff's, which they're supposed to be opening a zoo behind Windstar, in Oklahoma there. I don't know if it's being built, and it's not being built. The guy that was helping Jeff build it quit because Jeff wasn't doing it. I'm telling you, the story will blow your mind. Blow your mind. So later on, Joe decides to, actually this is before he left, but he's been talking about killing Carol Baskins. And if you're planning to kill somebody, you don't make your own TV station every night and talk about killing her. It just not common sense. So there's Jeff brings one of his buddies on when he comes to help him work, and this he's been in jail multiple times. He's not a good character. Jeff is the biggest con artist I think I've ever seen, or one of them. His buddy goes out, and Joe asked his buddy apparently if he'd give him $3,000 to go down and kill Carol Baskins, and he says, yes, I will. He ends up going to South Dakota or North Carolina or somewhere and totally doesn't do anything. But because they found out that he came in and they actually snitched on Joe and said because there was actual payment going on, they were able to arrest the Tiger King, Mr. Joe Exotic, and put him in jail. He's actually in Fort Worth prison right now. They got him quarantined, I think due to the coronavirus. It is a insane roller coaster ride, and if you haven't seen it, I recommend watching it. I don't know what else you have better to do, but it is an insane roller coaster ride, and all the memes have been great. So that's one thing I've learned. Even if the world's on fire and going down, people will meme about it. And so Tiger King, the memes are hilarious, and it's a crazy ride. One thing, I actually got a buddy that hasn't watched it, so I sent him a meme the other day, and he's like, I don't understand this. I haven't watched that show. I'm like, dude, you have to watch it. You have to watch it. So I don't know if he will, but it's pretty funny. Other shows out there, Ozark's been getting a lot of ratings, good ratings coming in. That's one that I will watch eventually. But other than that, we're just here at the house, just chilling. I'm gonna do a YouTube video in a little bit about a Google mesh system that I bought, so look for that review. And yeah, that's just about it. It's gonna wrap this episode up. And I hope you guys remember to slow down in life and remember the little things. All right, guys. I will see you. I might do an episode this next week and see you before 2 weeks. All right, guys. Take care.